Hey family! I have some important news to share with you all, and I thought that a video would be the quickest and the easiest way to get it all out there to all of you at once. But I've been doing a lot of soul searching and therapy lately, and I recently found out that I'm transgender. So I guess, first of all, what does that mean? Well, transgender just means that I don't identify with the gender that I was assigned at birth. So when we're born, the doctors, they take a look at us, they take a look at our bodies, and they say, okay, you're either male or you're female, and then the rest of our lives, we're told what that means for our gender. So I'm sure you remember what I was like when I was a little kid. I had really short hair, I wore boys' clothes, I was into more stereotypically masculine things like Legos and skateboarding, and that was always where I felt most comfortable, even though, with my gender, with the way that my body was, I was supposed to be into more feminine things. But my whole life I've felt different from other girls and women. And for a while I thought that it was because I'm gay, but I didn't really feel like I fit in with gay women either, even though I really tried hard to find community there. Because of how I've always felt inside, especially concerning gender, I found myself recently thinking that if I had just been born a boy, things would be so much easier. That was a real light bulb moment for me, and I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what exactly that meant. And part of what I did was I read books and I watched YouTube videos of other transgender people, and I started to realize that my experience was really mirroring theirs in a lot of ways. And deep down, I've just always felt like a boy, even though I've spent the last 10 or so years really trying to squash that out of me. I grew my hair out, I tried to shop in the women's section, and I gave it a real college try, but in the end it's just not who I am. Okay, so I've explained a little bit about what it means to be transgender, but what does that mean specifically for me? Well, it means that I'm going to be going through a physical and a social transition from female to male. My physical transition will mostly happen through testosterone injections, and I actually learned quite a bit about the role of testosterone and found the science to actually be really interesting. So this is for you, Grandpa. But in utero, we all start out as female, and the presence of testosterone is what turns a female fetus into a male fetus. And technically female sex organs are just underdeveloped male sex organs, which is just really fascinating to me. So I'll be taking testosterone injections every week, which will change the appearance of my body. So my voice is going to get deeper and also probably crack a lot because I'll be going through a second puberty. And my body fat is going to redistribute itself into a more masculine figure. I'll grow more body hair, probably some facial hair, but it is possible that I'm going to lose a little hair on my head, which will be just new and interesting. So, I was recently diagnosed with something called gender dysphoria, which just means that my female body makes me feel very dysphoric, or like something isn't quite right. And actually, I looked up the dictionary definition of dysphoria for this video, and it means a state of mental discomfort or suffering. And I've struggled with anxiety and depression for most of my life, but I didn't really realize that my body dysphoria was making it so much worse. Actually, right before I made the decision to transition, I was really depressed and I was really suicidal, and in a lot of ways I feel like this transition is really saving my life. So that's the physical stuff, but I'll also be going through a social transition. I've started coming out to all of my friends and my doctors and the places that I volunteer, and they've all been using a new name and male pronouns for me and treating me like a boy instead of a girl. And after coming out to all of you, the whole family, I pretty much just have work left, and I'm in the process of working with HR right now. And actually Thomson Reuters is a really progressive company to work at, and I really don't anticipate many issues at all, which is just a huge load off my shoulders. Alright, so that's the main thing. I'm transgender, and I wanted to tell you all in a way where I wasn't going to stumble over all my words, or if I did, I could edit it out. And I also wanted to be able to tell all of you in a very personal way, but also like all at once, because this is a really personal thing, and I do want to involve you in it, and so I just thought that a video would be a little bit more just more personal than an email. And after I've been telling people, the main question I've been getting is, how can we support you? Which is just so awesome and just proves that I have an amazing family and an amazing support system. But really all I need for you is to call me by my new name, which is Grant, and use he, him pronouns to refer to me. So for instance, if you're wondering whether or not I'm coming to the lake, you might call up my mom and say, like, hey Sandy, is Grant coming this weekend? We really miss him. And also, I did pick a name that started with a G because I love when you all call me G, and I hope that you continue to do so. Now, I totally understand that this is a transition for all of us, and so I expect we're all going to slip up here and there, even me. I'm going to do it too. And so all I ask from you is that you try and that you do your best. There are a lot of statistics out there about transgender people whose support system uses their preferred pronouns and name, and the suicide rate decreases by 65% when that's true. And that makes a lot of sense to me, and so I think that just shows the importance of trying. Another question I hear a lot in general, especially from parents, is, can my kid live a happy life as a transgender person? And I wanted to answer that because yes, absolutely yes. I think that transitioning is going to provide me with a kind of happiness and comfort that I have never experienced before in my life, and so I'm actually really looking forward to that. So that's it. I'm Grant, and I'm your grandson, or your nephew, or your dude cousin, and I'm really excited to go on this journey, and I'm especially excited to be able to include all of you in this. If you have any questions, I highly suggest the documentary Gender Revolution. It's on Netflix, it was done by Katie Couric, and it's awesome. It's super informational, and it's really great. But otherwise, I'm more than happy to answer any burning questions you have, or talk more about gender anytime you want, or I'd also be happy to point you in the direction of resources if you want more information. So that's it. Thank you for watching. I love you all, and I'm so happy and lucky to have such a supportive and awesome family.